What's going on, Bengals and Warriors, and welcome back to Rivalry Report. Today we have a loaded show packed full of all of your favorite sports info. The basketball teams have been crushing it and look to continue doing so in the playoffs. Things here in the Low Country have been heated as the classic Lucy Beckham-Wando rivalry game went down to the wire. Me and my guys at the studio can't wait to break it all down for you, and it all starts right now. Before we get into all the high school stuff, I'll let Jaden Archie tell all about his previous picks for one of the biggest sports games of the year.
All right, thanks Walker. Stoked to be here for my final talk on the NFL playoffs. Only good news on this side is my pick was right from day one. The Seahawks took down the Patriots and it wasn't even close. The dark side defense shut down the so-called MVP Drake May and helped lock a 29-13 win. The Seahawks got their redemption after the last time they had a traumatic goal line pick the last time they saw each other. Huge shout out to Kenneth Walker for winning Super Bowl MVP. He played a significant role in the team's second all-time Super Bowl victory and their first since 2014. Walker rushed for 135 yards on 27 carries, becoming only the 8th running back to win Super Bowl MVP. Also, he's the first running back to win it since Terrell Davis 28 years ago. Back to you, Walker. I'll see you later on.
Thanks, Jaden. Switching gears to the local business, the Warriors and Bengals have been killing it on the wrestling mat recently, with both schools having standout individual athletes. While the teams themselves have been eliminated, some students have shined a little brighter and are really making a name for themselves. The Wando girls have a winning record, finishing the season 5-3. They finished second in the region with only one region loss to Cane Bay. On to the boys, Wando wrestler Jack Sillinger got the 100th win of his high school career against Carolina Forest. A similar accomplishment over at Beckham with Matthew Spignardo getting his 150th win. Good job to all of you. Now taking a look back into basketball, the regional playoffs are starting to shape up. Let's look at where our schools stand in the hoops world. Both girls' teams came out on top, with Wando having a dominant win over Stahl, 91-21. Beckham's round 1 game ended in a 56-50 win over Socastee, and the Warriors are now headed to face Somerville in round 2, while the Bengals have Goose Creek. Over on the guys' side, unfortunately, both guys' teams took a loss in round 1. Wando lost to 7-seed Ashley Ridge 64-55, and Beckham also lost to 7-seed Lugoff Elgin 59-44. Speaking of the guys, Wando and Lucy Beckham had a classic showdown in the Chop House recently. I'll let sports analyst Christian Sterling tell you all about it.
The Wando Warriors run out to host the visiting Lucy Beckham Bengals as the Chop House was packed for this Friday night rivalry game. Sully Templeton and Jonte Anderson to get the tip. As the Bengals win the tip-off and start with the ball, senior William Hemley would get them into offense. As he passes to Anderson, who tries to go up but does not score. Bengals get the offensive rebound and kick it out, but the shot is way off. This would characterize most of the night for both teams. Next possession, sophomore Mari Malone gets the ball, dribbles between two defenders and floats it in to give the Warriors an early lead. Then Malone would inbound the ball to Dunleavy. He passes to 8th grader Travis Kershaw, who hits the 3. Warriors lead at the end of the first quarter. However, Beckham would come back in the second quarter with this Baylor Zepp score, putting the Bengals back in front to end the half. Here in the second half, Wando looking to get the offense going. Kason Sanders passes to Trace McCarty, who goes up and misses. He then grabs the rebound and goes back up with it and scores to get the Warriors some much-needed momentum. But in the fourth quarter, Beckham would keep this game close as senior William Hemley would take a pull-up jumper and hit it to get this game tied. End of game, Warriors trying to get a late lead. Kershaw passes to McCarty, who passes to Malone, who then drives past and gets the and one score. Warriors lead late in the fourth. He hits his free throws, and that gives the Warriors a stronger lead to pretty much seal the game. Beckham with one last chance as he misses the shot, and the Warriors gain possession and pass the ball around to run out the clock until Sanders gets fouled and goes to the line. He hits his 2 free throws to pretty much end this game. The Warriors got game 2 of the Sweetgrass rivalry 35-30 in a thriller that was amazing to watch. Back to you, Walker.
Thanks, Christian. It was really awesome to be at the game, and the energy was just electric. I can't wait to see how both of our schools perform tonight in the first round of the playoffs. Speaking of the big news, it's time for everyone's favorite part of the show. I want to welcome sports analysts Jaden Archer and Christian Sterling to join me in taking a bit of a different direction, taking a look at the upcoming March Madness. It's really awesome that you guys can meet me here today. And Christian, I want to begin with you and ask you, who do you think is going to be winning March Madness this year?
So I'm going to take the Illinois Fighting Illini. I think that they've got a great guard in Keaton Wagler. He's averaging about 19 points a game, had 36 when they played Wisconsin. He's a leader. He lets his plays do the talking. I think he's great to have at guard. And then overall, they've got height to their side. They've got a 7'2" center, a 7'1" power forward, and a 6'9" small forward. So I definitely think that with that size advantage, they can do things in the half court. They struggle a little in transition, but overall, I really think they're a strong team who can go on a run at the end of the year. And especially being in the Big Ten, I just got to say, like, these Big Ten teams are legit. So
I agree with that Big Ten team statement. I'm going to take a little bit of a different direction. I'm going to take Michigan. You know, Lendenborger's over there. He's averaging 28.8 points per game. They're fourth in scoring and third in assists. So even though he's almost averaging 30 points, they're still able to get the ball around. So having that key guy over there, it's honestly helping out. And you know what else is helping out? That resume they've got. You've taken down that 12th ranked Gonzaga team, 7th ranked Michigan State, Nebraska, they were ranked 5th. You beat Purdue last night, they were ranked 7th, and that's only 4 out of the 6 ranked wins they have. And on top of wins, they only have 1 loss to a Wisconsin team by 3, and they're now ranked 24th in the AP poll. So you can't really hold it against them. I will say it is a little bit subject to change, and I don't mean that as in I think I'm going to change my mind. It's just you've got Illinois, you've got Duke, you've got Michigan State for the rest of the year. So although they are 3 games up on Illinois in the Big Ten, you've still got games to either, you know, prove that you actually are worth something or prove that you could fail. What about you, Walker?
Yeah, personally, I'm going to be going with the University of North Carolina Tar Heels. You look at their freshman forward, Caleb Wilson, 6'10", obviously going to go probably top 3 in the draft behind Boozer or Demansa. And I just see him being so successful, especially later in the season. Obviously, he's out dealing with that fracture in his right hand, which has been struggling. He's been struggling with that. But in particular, he was warming up last night with the fracture in his hand. He was shooting with his hand. I think he can get through it. You look at the Duke game, which was ranked 4th at the time. They didn't destroy Duke, but you have that absolutely clutch factor from guard Seth Trimble. He's a senior now. He's got experience. You've got other great freshman pieces. You've got 7'1" Henry Visar. So yeah, I see in the Heels capturing another national championship, and I see them going really far. But Christian, the best part of March Madness is typically about the Cinderella story. So I want to throw that to you. Who do you think is going to be your Cinderella story this year?
So I really had to think about this, but I'm going to go with the Iowa Hawkeyes. I think they're a great team, another Big Ten team. And the reason I say this is last night they beat Nebraska, who's top 10 in the AP poll. I think that they've got a strong team. They've got a good resume. They can win the big games. So if they can just kind of figure out how to win even the littler games, I think that they can be the Cinderella team this year.
Yeah, I'm going to go over to the ACC. I'm going to take NC State. It was kind of hard to hear you talk about North Carolina like that. I do agree, North Carolina is a very good basketball team, but they also did lose to my Wolfpack last night. But you've got McNeil, 81 three-pointers. You've got Copeland, 12th in assists, so he's able to get the ball around. Just to kind of clarify of how big that is, you know, against SMU, 75% of his passes led to 3-point shots. I would take 3 points over 2 points all day. A lot of people can argue that the NC State-UNC game was a little bit frauded just because Caleb Wilson was out. He had a few other guys out. But I think when you look at it, they took down that Clemson team. It went at OT, but they still, you know, played well. The UNC game, great defense. The only thing I would say is that the defense is off and on, and I would say that the attitude over there is a little bit different. Will Wade is a heck of a coach at NC State, but he's still kind of, you know, put in his culture a little bit over there. What do you think, Walker?
Yeah, 100%. Personally, I don't agree with your Wolfpack take, and yes, like you said, we were frauded a little bit last night in the loss. But for my Cinderella story, I'm going to be taking the Georgia Bulldogs. Historically, they've been a dominant football program, no national championships. But this year, they really have this standout player in the son of NBA legend Dominique Wilkins. He's a great player. He's explosive. He has some of the best dunks I've seen in the NCAA all year. So yeah, I'm going to be taking the Georgia Bulldogs. They're just a really fundamental team. They're great on offense and defense. They've been racking up some wins. So yeah, thank you guys for meeting me here so much. One last thing before we go. And in case you haven't seen it before, yes, it is true. Rivalry Report has ventured onto our socials. Go follow ECSN_Rivalry Report on Instagram to stay up to date with anything sports related at Wando and Beckham. Let us know if there's anything y'all want to see in a future show. Thank you too for joining us as always, and we'll see you all next time. Signing off for Rivalry Report, I'm Walker Roberts.